Hi everyone, welcome to my space and freedom, and let's dive into data. Like I promised from my last video, which I want to say a big thank you to you all for the love and support. I'll be exploring through amazing features in Excel on my next couple of videos. I will try to break down features on Excel that just make sense. Like I said, make sense. They make all the difference and occupies all the gap in Excel. They are the powerhouse of Excel, the engine to all your reports. And today we'll be talking about pivot tables. Yes, pivot tables. Like we all know, some of us call it the summary reports. We get to break down our data sets. It may sound advanced or intimidating. The tables can actually be easy to understand. It will save you a lot of time creating interactive reports and dashboard and make you look like an expert. I promise you, it makes you look like an expert. Without further ado, I would like us to go in directly into this. So grab a popcorn, and if you're just joining us, you could like, subscribe, and share to your friends. Let's get it. To use a pivot tables, you will need the data. It's very important to have a data. It can be sales, it can be products, it can be income, it can be expenses, any kind of data, so long as they have rows and columns. Are you with me? Rows and columns are very, very important to use. So when you have data like this, you might not have the full meaning of the data. You might be confused. What can I do? How can I get the sum? Normally, to answer questions with this, you normally use functions that are unique to get the summary or sum if to get answers from this data set. But gonna do this. Now we have pivot tables that can help you easily summarize this data. And to achieve that, first off, we have to prep our data. What is our data set? Our data set is a list of orders, is a sales data for a period of, I think, 300 orders. You could check this sample data in the description below if you want to practice along. This is a simple data set for just practice. And to be able to achieve it, first off, we check our data if it's complete, there's no inconsistency, if there's no gap, there's no empty column or empty rows. Then afterwards, we convert to a table. What I do to convert to a table is Control A, Control T. We already have an header for our table, so we click OK. So it easily converts to a table. Now it's converted to a table. It's not necessarily a must for it to be a table, but most times I do make it a table just in case there's any changes happen to the table. It affects your pivot tables easily. You can easily add to your pivot tables and it automatically adds to your pivot table. So afterwards, you click on any part of your table and click on the summarize. Click on inserts and click on pivot tables. Here you see it already picked out our table. It recognized the old range, and now you're going to insert it into a new workbook, not an existing. If you have already an existing workbook already, you can easily insert it there. But you click on OK. Now it will open your pivot tables for you. This is the field list, and this is where your pivot table is going to be inserted into. And whenever you open your pivot table, it opens a ribbon called Pivot Table Analyze at the top of your ribbon. So you get to see the features of pivot tables. Oh yeah, just like we mentioned, we wanted to answer a question using pivot tables easily. So first off, we could bring our sales to values. So it calculates the sum of all the sales. And we wanted to see the month. So we bring the dates to column. And as you can see, it already summarized the dates by month. You can either right click here or you could break it down by removing the years and the quarter. And you can see we already have the month by month sales. Can you see? It's very easy to use. It's just what? Drag and drop. So with just dragging and dropping, you could answer a lot of questions using your data sets. And also you could add let's say you want to answer questions like a custom calculation, like, okay, I want to see what's happening in a certain region. All you have to do is drag your region to filter, click the drop down, you could see it. I click on the drop down here. I click on the region you want to see. Let's say you want to see what's happening in the east. And you can see the sum and everything calculated here shows the performance, the month by month performance in which region, the east region. So that's why the pivot tables are very essential. They are easy to use. Just drag and drop. You easily answer any kind of questions using your pivot tables. And let's say you don't want to just see the sum, you want to see average. You click on the drop down here, you click on your value field settings, and you can change, you can either count, average, max, or mean. You could use any of these things. Let's say you want to see the average of this, we could click OK. Now it shows the average per month that happened in the east. Can you see? If you want to see what happens in the north, you click on it. It changes to the north as well. Can you see? It changes without stress, just seamlessly. It saves you a lot of time and a lot of energy working on this. And another thing that just makes it even better is the ability to add calculated field to your data. Let's say we have sales and we have costs here. We have sales. I want to find the profits. All we have to do is click on the pivot table, go to our pivot table, analyze on our ribbon. You click the field item list sets, and you click on calculated field. So right here, we want to solve for the profits. So now you come here, what we have to do is insert sales. You double click on sales minus cost, which is the total cost. I click on OK. You can see it automatically adds the profits for you. And you can also change the profits to anyhow you want to see them, either in the max value, mean value, or the average. But you can easily add a calculated field to your data with pivot tables. That's one of the most amazing things about it. And the next up is about grouping. You might want to group your data. Let's say we have this in rows. You just want to see the months. You might also want to see the product again, and you can bring the product to rows. You can see how we grouped and summarized our data by February, by March. And if you want it to be grouped by products, you could just adjust it upward. You could see it's grouped by products here. You will see the headphone January to December, how the performance went. And you can also bring the products to the column. Can you see? You can also bring the product to the column. It makes it easily to use and it's easily manipulated. You can just remove, say you don't want to see the sales, you want to see quantity, he gets the quantity for you. You don't want to see quantity, you want to see costs, you bring it in. If you don't want to see costs, you want to see profits. There's a lot you could achieve using pivot tables. That's one of the things that makes it very, very amazing. And one of the most amazing parts of pivot tables is it's easy to insert pivot charts and slicers, which makes it very, very interactive because from pivot tables, you can easily build an interactive report, an interactive dashboard. This is like an engine and powerhouse that powers every interactive dashboard you see on Excel. Not all, but majority of the dashboard you see on Excel or reports are made through Power Pivot tables. So let's insert a chart. We'll click on insert, click on anywhere on your the tables. I just want to see the summary of this. And you click on inserts. Can you see? And anything that happens to your pivot table also affects your pivot charts. Let's say we want to add profits, sales as well. So let's compare the sales and profit by month. Can you see? So it affects it. Anything you do here affects your charts. And that's what makes it amazing. And also the slicers. So let's insert our slicers. Click on insert. You see our slicers. You can insert slicers, you can insert timelines that makes it, let's say by products. So we can also filter by products and you can see the changes that happens whenever you click. Pivot table is a powerhouse, is a power engine to Excel, and it is very important for you to know it because it saves you a lot of time, a lot of energy. It saves you hour of complex formulas, and it is very, very essential to know how to use them. And like I just explained, it's very easy to use, very user friendly. That's the amazing part of Excel that I love so much. It's very, very user friendly. Anybody can learn it, everybody can understand it. When you share them something like this, it's easier to understand than just saying your average data is like this. So seeing this makes it a lot easier to understand. So this is the power of power pivots, of pivot tables. With just clicks, you could create a report, an interactive report without complex formulas. It saves you a lot of time. And if you learn something from here, you could like, share, and comment. You could share to your friends who are also analysts who are finding it hard to navigate the use of Excel. Because from now, I'll be sharing more gems on Excel, like Power Query, Power Pivot. We'll be talking about all those other tools and features you could find on Excel that is very important. If you also have recommendations, you could comment what topic you want me to break down or explain to you. I would definitely do that. So for now, I'll have to say bye. So see you next Friday. I'll try I'll try to keep up with Fridays. So bear with me. Thank you all for watching and have a nice evening, have a nice morning, have a nice night. Bye.